Miley Cyrus has the biggest song of 2023 so far.
I can buy myself flowers. I should have bought you flowers.
She has been in the music industry for close to 2 decades now, and she has sold over 55 million singles and 20 million albums worldwide. She has had her share of ups and downs, but in recent years she has managed to redefine her sound, and 2023 has been her year. In this video, we're going to look at how Miley Cyrus revived her career and came back to the top of the charts. Destiny Hope Cyrus was born on November 23, 1992 in Franklin, Tennessee, to Letitia Jean Cyrus and the country singer Billy Ray Cyrus. Her parents nicknamed her Smiley, which was later shortened to Miley.
My name is Miley Cyrus. It gets actually confused a lot. People call me Smiley actually most of the time, but that's okay. I'll take either.
She began acting at an early age, as her first acting role was in her father's TV series Doc. When she was 11, she auditioned for a Disney TV show. She was denied the part at first because she was too small and too young for the role, but she was later cast as a lead because of her singing and acting abilities. The TV show was known as Hannah Montana. It premiered in March 2006 to the largest audience for a Disney Channel program. She quickly became a teen sensation. She toured with the Cheetah Girls as Hannah Montana in September 2006 and performed songs from the show's first season. Walt Disney Records released the first soundtrack in October of that year under Miley's character's name, Hannah Montana. The record was commercially successful, as it went on to sell more than 3 million copies worldwide. During the 6-year run of the TV show, Miley released 5 studio albums that were hugely popular as Hannah Montana. Miley then signed a 4-album deal with Hollywood Records to distribute her non-Hannah Montana music. She released the 2-disc album Hannah Montana 2 Meet Miley Cyrus in June 2007. The first disc was as Hannah Montana, while the second disc was released under the name Miley Cyrus. It debuted on number 1 with first week sales of 326,000 copies, and it has been certified 3 times platinum by the RIAA. In 2008, she legally changed her name to Miley Cyrus. She used to post vlogs on YouTube back in 2008 with her friend Mandy Giroux, which contributed to her online following. Miley went on to release her second studio album Breakout in July 2008. It debuted on number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 371,000 copies sold. It has been certified platinum by the RIAA. In March 2009, Miley released The Climb as a single from the soundtrack of the Hannah Montana movie. She then released her first EP, The Time of Our Lives, which included the hit Party in the USA, which has now been streamed more than 1.1 billion times on Spotify. Hoping to foster a more mature image, Miley dropped her 3rd studio album, Can't Be Tamed, in 2010. It was inspired by the techno music that was popular at the time. It debuted on number 3 on the Billboard 200 with first week sales of 102,000 copies. She stirred a considerable amount of controversy over her lyrics and her live performances. They were too sexual, apparently. Miley was subject of a further controversy when a video posted online in December 2010 showed her, then aged 18, smoking salvia with a bong, which was nothing compared to her next album, Bangerz. She's pretty open about her drug use nowadays, while in those times, while being signed to Disney, that was a big no-no.
How much weed can I actually smoke and still play a teenage superstar on the Disney Channel? and then like,
what's the answer to that question?
More than you would fucking think.
After that, Miley officially parted ways with Hollywood Records, and then signed with RCA Records for her future releases. Her next release was on May 23, 2013, when she was featured on the Mike Will Made It single 23 with Wiz Khalifa and Juicy J. This was surprising to her fans, as it was a completely different image and sound than they were used to during her Disney days. Miley then broke the internet when she performed with Robin Thicke at the 2013 VMAs, a performance that resulted in widespread media attention and public scrutiny. She then released Wrecking Ball as the second single from Bangerz on the same day as the VMAs. It was her first number 1 single. The music video was viewed over 19 million times within 24 hours of its release. Her 4th studio album, Bangerz, was released on October 4, 2013. The album was a commercial success, debuting on number 1 on the Billboard 200 with first week sales of 270,000 copies. She worked with producers like Pharrell Williams and Mike Will Made It, as she went into a more hip-hop influenced sound. She was named Artist of the Year by MTV for 2013. The huge risk she took had paid off, as she was even bigger than her days as Hannah Montana. She had reached the mountaintop. Miley spent 2014 touring Bangerz, but when she was hosting the 2015 VMAs,
Miley, what's good?
she announced that her 5th studio album, Miley Cyrus and Her Dead Pets, was available for free streaming on SoundCloud. It had an experimental sound with elements of psychedelic pop, psychedelic rock, and alternative pop. The album had mixed reviews, scoring a 60 out of 100 on Metacritic. In the following year, she had taken a break from music. Miley signed on as a coach for the 11th season of The Voice. She came back to music on May 11, 2017, when she released Malibu, as the lead single from her 6th album, Younger Now. The album was released on September 29, 2017. She went back to her country roots on this album. It did not perform well commercially, debuting on number 5 on the Billboard 200, with first week sales of 45,000 copies. In 2018, her first collaboration with Mark Ronson, Nothing Breaks Like a Heart, was released. It peaked on number 2 on the UK singles charts, and it signified the sound she would be coming with on her future albums. Miley then released the EP She Is Coming on May 31, 2019. It debuted on number 2 on the Billboard 200 with 36,000 album equivalent units. On August 14, 2020, Miley released the lead single from her next album, Midnight Sky. It became her highest charting solo single since Malibu, peaking at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. Her 7th studio album, Plastic Hearts, was released on November 27, 2020. The album was released to positive reviews from critics and performed well, debuting on number 2 on the Billboard 200 with 60,000 units. It has amazing singles like Prisoner with Dua Lipa. After ending her 8-year contract with RCA Records, Miley signed with Columbia Records in March 2021. After this, she was determined to make 2023 her own, with her next lead single, Flowers. It was released on January 12, 2023, and it debuted on number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song has an infectious groove, with disco and funk influences of the 70s. It spent 6 consecutive weeks at number 1, and became Miley's longest-running number 1 single in the US. It already has more than 600 million streams on Spotify. Miley released her 8th studio album, Endless Summer Vacation, on March 10, 2023. It already has positive reviews from critics, with a score of 81 out of 100 on Metacritic. Miley Cyrus has managed to revive her career through a combination of reinvention of her sound and putting her own twist on popular trends in pop music. You can have ups and downs with public perception, but a hit song makes up for a lot, and is all that matters, really.